All the flavors. You can definitely taste the onions, the carrots, the celery, and of course the sweet basil. So definitely a must try at home. Hi, my name is Anna. I've been baking for the past 20 years. I've developed a passion for baking from my Italian parents. So join me for some delicious, quick, authentic recipes. I have hundreds to choose from and to share with you. So whether you're just starting out or have an interest in baking, follow me and we'll get inspired. Hi, today we're making cheese stuffed shells. For this recipe, you'll need a box of your jumbo shells, fresh Parmesan cheese, ricotta cheese, fresh basil, fresh mozzarella, 3 cans of tomatoes, olive oil, spinach, 2 eggs, and garlic. So you're going to start by mixing your ricotta cheese with 2 minced garlic, your Parmesan cheese, your fresh mozzarella. At this point, once you've added your spinach, you can add your eggs and mix well to incorporate everything. It smells so good. I wish you guys can smell this. Just amazing. There we go. And it's all ready for your shells. So for your sauce, your red sauce, you'll need 3 jars of tomatoes. You need half an onion, celery, and carrots. So you can chop your onions. And this is going to add so much flavor together. I like chopping mine because it brings all the flavors nicely together. And to your sauce, you're going to add fresh basil. 1 teaspoon salt. All the goodness. We're ready to add your shells to your boiling water. Not to add all the shells. I would do half of them. So I'm going to cook it for 11 minutes. Okay. There we go. So now you're all ready to fill your shells. We've got your pasta, we've got your ricotta filling, and you have your sauce. I chose a dish that you could pile just 1 layer onto it. So what we're gonna do is you're going to put some sauce on the bottom of your tray. I wish you could smell this. It just smells amazing. And again, when you cook your sauce for about an hour and a half, all the smell, just everything smells so delicious. So I just like to put a nice little bed of sauce. This is also going to have your pasta cook a little bit more evenly. Then what you're going to do is grab a piping bag. And again, I'm going to fold over your bag so you keep it nice and clean. And then you're going to fill your bag. Now you don't have to use a piping bag. I find it a little bit more easier, less messy. But you could definitely use a spoon, whatever you feel comfortable with. You want the opening just a little bit wider because there's spinach, there's mozzarella, so you want all that to go through. So then you grab your shells and you press in your cheese. Not to worry if there's a little bit of water. That's all gonna cook well together. Your sauce, your shells, your filling. And you can't beat the smell. I wish you could smell this. It's just amazing. Perfect. Now what you are going to do is now just put the sauce over top and just cover it all. It's gonna add so much flavor. Once you're done with putting sauce all over, you could add Parmesan cheese. Okay. It's gonna give all that nice flavor. Amazing, look at that. So now, I like to always top it off with some fresh basil leaves. You can just put them anywhere, arrange them any which way. There we go. And then you're gonna pop it in the oven. You're gonna bake this for about 30 to 40 minutes. There we go. Oh, that smells delicious. Okay, so your pasta shells are ready. They smell amazing. It's a must try, that's for sure. Look at that, perfection. What I like to do is always grate some fresh Parmesan cheese. And of course, you're gonna serve it, put a fresh basil leaf. Now let's give it a try. All the flavors, you can definitely taste the onions, the carrots, the celery, and of course the sweet basil. So definitely a must try at home. You can also put it in a takeout container. It freezes well, and it's also great to bring at a friend's house. All you do is put it in the container, put the lid on, and it freezes really well. So something you can do ahead of time and be ready for your next dinner party. Enjoy. Stay tuned for our next episode. We're going to be making eggplant parmigiana. With the sauce that we made today for the stuffed shells, you can definitely use it for the parmigiana. It looks amazing. It smells delicious. Amazing. All the flavor profile, you must try this at home. Hi there. Today we're making eggplant parmigiana. In this recipe, you can use the same sauce that we use for the stuffed shells. And you will need eggplants, eggs, milk, olive oil, Parmesan cheese, butter, fresh basil, salt, and fresh mozzarella cheese. We're going to begin by making a white sauce. So you're going to melt your butter. And once that's all incorporated, you're going to add your milk and just keep whisking. And it's going to thicken up just a little bit. So this white sauce with your red tomato sauce is a really nice combination. And at this point, you could add a bit of salt. There you go. And the sauce is ready. Just thickens up a little bit. Once your white sauce is ready, we're going to slice the eggplants. So our eggplant is all ready. What we're going to do is we're going to beat our eggs and add salt to taste. And you want to season along the way. So this is a really easy recipe. It's one of my favorites, and I'm sure it's going to be one of your favorites as well. So now that your eggplant is sliced, we're going to drizzle olive oil on the bottom of our pan. And you can put a liberal amount, quite a bit, because this traditional dish is pan fried, but I've decided to bake it. So I think it's still, for me, still very crispy, very delicious. So we're just going to put olive oil on the bottom, and then you're going to dip your eggplant into the egg, and you're going to coat it with the flour. And you could make this dish a couple days before. It's really nice if you have a dinner party and you're limited for time. I always like to make it ahead of time and keep it in the fridge, and then bake it once you're ready to serve it. Before you pop it in the oven, you're going to season it. If you want to add pepper, you can. I just put a bit of salt. And then it's very important that you you drizzle the olive oil. There we go. Now we're going to put it in the oven. Turn it over. See how it's getting brown in the area, and it's much softer. Say 10 minutes. So we're going to slice our mozzarella that we're going to be putting between the layers. So you want to slice it thinner. Okay, now we're ready. You have your eggplant all ready to go. You've got your sauce and your white sauce. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some of the sauce on the bottom of your pan. And you're going to assemble this like you would a lasagna. So you're going to put the first layer of your eggplant. You're going to put some red sauce over it. And once you bake it, it just cooks so well together. Basil leaves, those are delicious. So you could leave them in your sauce. Now you're going to add your Parmesan cheese. And just put a liberal amount. Then you're going to add your white sauce. And I find the white sauce just adds a little bit more to this dish. Your eggplant. And then once you cover it all with your sauce, you put as much sauce as you like, but I like to cover it all so it bakes really well and the flavors combine nicely. White sauce over again. It's amazing once it bakes all together with the white sauce, then you're gonna top it with your Parmesan cheese. Put mozzarella. It's ready to go in the oven. You're going to bake it at 350 for about 40 to 45 minutes. Perfect. And it's ready. So here we have it. Let's give this eggplant a try. It looks amazing. It smells delicious. I wish you guys can smell it. Amazing. All the flavor profile. You must try this at home. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Nice piping hot. What I like to do is dip it in olive oil, nice and moist. Amazing. Must try it. Hi there, welcome. Today we're making focaccia. In this recipe you will need flour, olive oil, salt, yeast, rosemary, and water. You'll begin by sprinkling some yeast to your water, warm water, and just leave it in there for a couple of minutes. Then you're going to add your olive oil. And make sure your water is a bit warm, not cold. Just give it a bit of a stir. And then you're going to add it to your flour. I'm going to mix it. Don't worry if the dough seems a bit dry. It all works well together. And once you've mixed it just a bit, you're going to add your salt. And you don't want to add the salt with the water because you don't want to disturb the yeast. Make sure your flour is all incorporated. Don't worry if it feels like it's a little bit harder. It all works well together. and make sure that you let it rest in a warmer area away from any cold, because you want your dough to be nice and risen. There we go. So that's ready. So what I will do is I'll drizzle some olive oil, and you're gonna cover and wait for 15 minutes. Okay, now we're back. Now we're gonna fold the dough 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're gonna let it set for another 15 minutes. We're gonna fold it 4 times. 2, 3, 4. There we go. And we're gonna let it rest for another 15 minutes. Okay, so now we're ready to pour the focaccia onto your pan. What I've done is I put some parchment paper. You don't have to, but I put some. And what I do is also just put a little bit of olive oil so it doesn't ride around. And then you're gonna make sure you're putting enough olive oil on the bottom of your pan. So you can use your fingers, you can use a brush, whatever you're comfortable with. And then you're gonna turn over your focaccia. Now the good thing about this focaccia is you could make focaccia in a flatbread, or you can also make it into small pizzas. So you can do a lot, you're in control. So what I like to do as well is just drizzle some, because I don't want my fingers to get sticky with dough. And then you're gonna press it in, just press it outwards towards the pan. And as long as it relaxes, you're going to be able to press it down some more. So we're gonna leave that for another 15 minutes, and then we're gonna pop it in the oven. And we're gonna put the coarse salt and rosemary just before we put it in the oven. There we go. And make sure you place this near a warm area, away from cold. This way you have a good rise. Okay, so your focaccia is ready to be topped with olive oil. So you're gonna sprinkle some olive oil over top. And then you're going to put some rosemary. Put as many as you like. And then you're going to sprinkle with some coarse sea salt. Perfect. So now, without disturbing the dough too much, you're going to just spread and put your fingers right in the dough to create a nice little bubbles. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And that's it. It's ready to go in the oven for about 15 to 18 minutes. And your focaccia is ready. Look at that, beautiful, golden, and crispy. Look at that. Now we're going to cut it. So we're going to cut it, and you could cut them into any size you would like it. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Nice piping hot. There we go. And of course you can cut it a little better when it's not so hot. What I like to do is dip it in olive oil. It is amazing to get all the flavors of the olive oil and your focaccia. Nice and moist. Amazing. Must try it. Look at that, smells so delicious. And of course, a bit of Parmesan cheese. Amazing. Definitely, you must try this. Hi, thanks for joining. Today we're making traditional Italian meatballs. It's a staple in my house, but also you can make this recipe for your loved ones or a special occasion. For this recipe, you'll need tomatoes, ground beef, milk, Parmesan cheese, fresh basil, Italian parsley, onion, garlic, eggs, breadcrumbs, olive oil, and salt. I will have the full recipe at the end. So begin crushing your tomatoes by hand. They don't have to be very fine, but coarse is nice. It just adds a bit of texture to the sauce. There you go. So we're going to begin by adding 3 tablespoons of olive oil. You're going to saute your onions and your garlic just for a couple of minutes. Okay, so now we're going to add our tomatoes. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. You're going to simmer it for about an hour. And of course, you have to add your basil leaves. You could add them whole or chopped. There we go. Okay, now we're going to make our meatballs. So what I like to do is use a zester to zest my garlic. This way you don't get large pieces. It's a trick that I came up with because chopped garlic is really nice, but sometimes, you know, it's a little bit too, the pieces are a little too large. There we go. Then you're going to add your parsley, your Parmesan cheese, your breadcrumbs, one egg, and of course your milk. Of course, we're going to put our salt in there as well. There we go. I like to put my gloves on so I can get right in there. Now, Italian meatballs, we make them in our home anyways. We make them with breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese, and breadcrumbs just gives it a bit softer, and you want a really nice tender meatball. So I feel it's a nice balance. Just incorporate all that. Start smelling the garlic with the Parmesan cheese. And the milk also makes them moist as well, in addition with the egg. In the Italian kitchen, we never normally have measurements, so sometimes you do it to, you make them to taste and whatnot, but it's whatever you feel like adding. If you want to add a bit of more, you can go ahead and do whatever you feel like. There you go. I think all the ingredients are nice and combined here. Great. Okay, so now we're gonna make our meatballs. I have a bit of water here, and I like to dip my scoop in there for an easy release of your meatball. And all you wanna do is just roll them out. You can use a scoop, a spoon, your hands, whatever you prefer. I'm using the scoop to make them all the same size. Traditionally in Italian homes, we have sauce and meatballs. So we have a spaghetti sauce, but you don't have to have meatballs only with spaghetti. You could have it with any pasta of your choice and any red sauce. You could also make meatballs with a white sauce, but today we're just making it a traditional red sauce. Smells so good. You can smell the garlic and the parsley. Now the secret to having a really moist meatball is make sure that you add enough milk, because you're adding breadcrumbs. So breadcrumbs is going to make it a little bit harder. So you add your milk to make it more moist. And also you're not going to bake or cook the meatballs right through, because you want to finish cooking them in your sauce. This way your sauce, your meatballs all get infused and flavors all combine together. Last one here. There we go. Meatballs all ready to go in the oven. Now the meatballs are ready. So now we're gonna put our meatballs in our sauce. Now we're going to simmer for about a half hour to just get all the flavor of the sauce with your meatballs. Now your meatballs are ready. So now that our meatballs are ready, I've decided to make some pasta, so this way you can have a delicious meal. Now we're going to boil our pasta. Okay, so your pasta is ready. What I like to do is I like to mix the meatballs with the pasta and just leave some sauce that you can put over top for your finishing touches just before serving. And of course, don't forget your Parmesan cheese. Got a good mix. Now we're going to plate it. Now you're going to serve your rigatoni with your meatballs. Put some sauce. Of course, don't forget your Parmesan cheese. Okay, so let's give this a try. Look at that, smells so delicious. And of course, a bit of Parmesan cheese. Amazing. Definitely, you must try this. Once your bruschetta is plated, you could also add some extra fresh Parmesan cheese, and all you do is just grate some right over top. There you go, enjoy. Today we're making bruschetta. For this appetizer, you will need 6 to 8 Roma tomatoes, 4 garlic cloves, fresh basil, fresh Parmesan cheese, and olive oil. Okay, so we're going to start by dicing your tomatoes. And you don't want to make them too thick. This makes such a nice appetizer. It complements any meal. Mince your garlic. You want to get it as fine as you can. You can use a knife, you can use a garlic presser just to make it very fine. Chop your basil, and you could use a fair amount. I like to use a lot of basil, just brings out the flavors. Roll it, and it'll just work fine. Add in 2 3/4 cups of Parmesan cheese. And then you're going to add about 1/2 cup of olive oil. There we go, and of course salt to taste. You could add anything you like in this bruschetta. I like to keep it simple and just use Parmesan cheese and basil, garlic, and olive oil. Just give it a nice mix. You can make this the night before. You could let it sit and it'll get all the flavors soaked right in, or you can make it the same day, whatever you have time for. I think it's all ready. So now your bruschetta mixture is ready. You're gonna get a baguette and you're gonna slice it lengthwise. About 1/2 inch thick. And you're gonna place it on your tray. You can put them really close together, that's fine. There we go, I think that's good. Perfect. So once your bread is sliced, you're going to top it with your bruschetta mixture. You're going to just scoop it right on to your bread. Top your bread with tomato mixture. And just fill it all up. Sometimes, little pieces fall, but that's okay. This is such a nice appetizer that you're sure to please everyone, that's for sure. It's one of our favorites at home. You can use any bread you like if you want to use. I'm using baguette, but you could use whatever you like, whatever you have on hand. It smells so good with the garlic and the basil. And you must, in my opinion, must use fresh basil. There we go. And if you need a few more pieces, just go over and put some more where needed. Now I'm going to top it off with some fresh mozzarella. You could use any mozzarella of your choice, but I'm not going to put a whole lot, just a few pieces here and there. Just gives it a extra flavor and also holds everything together. Just looks beautiful. Almost finished. And once you're done, you're gonna pop it in the oven and toast it for about 12 minutes or so, 12 to 15 minutes. There you go. The bruschetta is ready to go in the oven. There we go. There you go, and they're ready. Okay, so your bruschetta is ready. So it smells delicious. I wish you could smell it, but you know what? I'm sure that once you make it, you're going to enjoy it as well. So I've put it on, I'm going to put it on this dish, and just to kind of make it a little bit more fancier. Once you toast your baguette, it becomes a bit softer and crunchier, so not to worry. Perfect. There you have it, bruschetta. Also, once your bruschetta is plated, you could also add some extra fresh Parmesan cheese, and all you do is just grate some right over top. There you go, enjoy. So let's give that a try. Delicious. Definitely must try this at home. Hi, thanks for joining. Today we're making artichokes. It's a vegetable that is one of my favorites. For this recipe, you'll need artichokes, olive oil, breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, salt, Italian parsley, garlic, lemon, and also I'll be making a dip, and we're going to be using yogurt. So stay with me and I'll have a full recipe at the end. Now we're going to prepare the artichokes. Artichoke is a beautiful, delicious vegetable, but sometimes it does give you a bitterness on your hands and on any cooking surface that you may use. So what I do is I slice a lemon. So with the lemon, you want to squeeze some lemon juice on all the surface that you'll be prepping your artichokes. And also what I like to do is put the lemon, rub it on my hands, because the artichoke does have a bitterness that not pleasant at all, but it's a delicious vegetable. And we're ready. Now we're all ready to prep our artichokes. So I have a pot with about 3 cups of water, and you're going to cut the stem right to the end, remove any brown areas, You can use a potato peeler. It works really well. And you want to remove as thin as possible. This is a delicious part of the artichoke as well. So just go very lightly on removing. And once you have it, you just put in your pot of water. Then you're going to remove the top, I'd say about an inch. The top leaves are, they have some, sharp edges. So we just remove them for easy also for eating as well. So once you remove the inch, you're going to open your artichoke. Okay, and we're doing this because we're going to put olive oil and garlic. So we want to make sure all the flavors go right to the bottom. This is such a delicious recipe. I find a lot of people kind of see them at the supermarket and, when they go shopping, that they're intimidated as to how to prepare them. So this gives you an idea. There we go. Beautiful vegetable, but also delicious. There we go. So before we put olive oil and garlic, what I like to do is sometimes just remove just the outer bottom leaves. And the artichokes have a brown hue to it or some coloring. Don't worry, they're good. That's just the characteristic of the artichoke. So you're all ready. We're going to place them in the water. Then you're going to get your salt, your garlic, and olive oil. So with the garlic, I like to place it right in there. Yes, we use a lot of garlic for this recipe, but it's delicious. Then we're going to add some salt. And of course, your olive oil. So you can drizzle quite a bit. It adds flavor. There we go. And now we're going to simmer till the leaves are tender, and we'll check it at about a half hour. Our artichokes are ready. They took about 35 to 40 minutes, and they smell just delicious. The part of the artichoke actually is your leaves, which are really nice. I'll show you in a moment how to eat it. Let's just take all our stems out. They're just delicious. So now our artichokes are ready. How to eat the artichoke is you have these stems. So once they're tender, as you can see, so nice and juicy, you get a bit of olive oil and garlic. Well, a lot of times you can either scrape it off, but we eat them just like so. So juicy. You could taste the olive oil, garlic. It's just delicious. But also I wanted to let you know that once you eat away at the leaves, okay, you're going to be left with the heart. There's going to be a fuzzy part, which is also called a choke. You want to remove that, and then the heart is going to be more of the stem. So really delicious, a lot of flavor. So you get more of the stem that's in the heart. Now that we know how to cook your artichokes and how to eat them, I'm going to also make a recipe that you can share with your friends, make a dip out of it. So what I like to do is I'm going to rebake it, and I'm going to top it with some breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, yogurt, parsley, garlic, and lemon. I have a baking sheet. We're gonna place them right there. And of course, if you want, you could throw in your stems as well. Oh, and look at all that olive oil. Now that our artichokes are ready, we're going to mix our topping. We're gonna top it, and then we're gonna bake it for a little while to get nice and crispy. So we're gonna add our breadcrumbs, our Parmesan cheese, some salt, coarse garlic, and your fresh parsley. I'm going to put a bit of olive oil as well. Mix that all. Get all those ingredients together. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to top it right over. And you can open it a bit. There we go. You could add a bit more. Now that we've topped our artichokes, we're going to drizzle olive oil right over top. There we go. And we're going to bake them to get them nice and crispy. Now we're going to make the dip, and I've got some yogurt here, Parmesan cheese, of course our garlic. Can't have a dip without garlic. Some fresh parsley, squeeze just a bit of lemon. This makes such an easy appetizer for you to enjoy with friends. Add some salt. And also, you can make this dip ahead of time. What's really nice is you could pop it in the fridge, and all the flavors will combine and incorporate. So you'll get the garlic, the parsley, the Parmesan cheese. So it really brings out the flavors. So that's what I do. There you go. Okay, so your artichokes are ready. Smells delicious. Look at that. Just beautiful. Smells so good. Let's not forget about them. Now also, again, I've made a dip. What I like to enjoy, my artichoke as an addition to my meal, but also as an appetizer. So you could definitely serve it at any gatherings. I just grab your artichokes, give it a dip. Let's give it a try. Amazing, so good, delicious. Also wanted to show you how to get to the heart of your artichoke. So as you peel it, get all this delicious topping. So once you get right, it just actually falls apart, and actually it's easier as you're eating leaf by leaf. There you go. This part is very, it's a bit softer, so not much there to eat. Then this is your heart, and you want to remove the choke. So what I do is just get a knife and get right to it. There we go. There we go. You don't want to eat the the choke because it doesn't taste very nice. There we go. There you have it. So let's give that a try. Delicious. Definitely must try this at home. So press the subscribe button. We love your support. And let me know in your comment what we'd like to see next.